All
Yeet.
right. Maybe slightly off topic, but if you're all willing to hear it, I have a story about someone who pretty much ruined their life because of the stupid shit they did in the name of being a furry. All right. This took place in high school. May take a bit of time to recollect and type up everything, and the first time green texting, so here's the first part. When I met North, not his real name, I don't remember if it was his first owner name, but both were equally stupid. Be in sophomore year of high school. Friends know I'm a furry and are remarkably cool with it. Other people are cool with it too, since I've treated it like being a fan of the Thundercats and shows like that. No furry paraphernalia either. Halfway through the first semester, a new kid comes to school. He's from a super rich family who moved in to get richer because less property tax and cheaper cost of living. Hearing about the new kid, but I thought nothing of it, I suddenly get made fun of for being a furry. Whatever. That escalated over the next few weeks, starting to wonder what the fuck happened. After a month, Pasty McLord seeks me out and introduces himself by possibly his furry name, North. Just nod him off and go back to doing my own thing with my friends, and eventually he left. A friend of mine, Kel, loves orange soda and fried chicken, the whitest guy you'll ever seen, tells me about him after North bumbles off. Apparently, when he mentioned he was a furry, to play off some shitty sympathy card, people got curious, were actually interested, since I did show some people some badass stuff, like werewolves and shit. He apparently pulled out Neko ears and a foxtail from his bag, put them on, and started using shitty furry slang.
What?
Hashtag God fucking damn it.
By the way, Mr. Moonman's internet's getting choppy on his end, so if he doesn't react, that's why.
Is Julie gonna still come with us? I wonder if she's doing. Our regular users are supposed to view the social media channel. Oh wait, why the fuck did it show me as a new message from Hellhound? This is from earlier this year. Why the hell did it say that?
No. Anyway.
We're gonna be dealing with the other encounter, but I want to see. I want to see if Julia's free for the next encounter. This looks like, let's see, one encounter, couple encounters that happens with Nolan the furry. We could be at this for a while.
Oh, Jesus.
This probably will get its own video if I ever decided to upload it to YouTube. Cut down, mostly. Alright, we'll try to go on with the next one, I guess. Now for part 2, Euphmus the Ultimate.
Oh, no.
Now, as for one reason I made furry stuff cool with my friends, I made a sort of homebrew D&D where it's pretty much the new Thundercats, except Murrah didn't exist and humanity was what created the human-animal hybrids during a huge-ass war before killing each other off or escaping interdimensional pockets outside of time. Russian dinosaur cloning. Fuck yeah! We held the campaign during the lunch and study hall. Clever schedule manipulation at the start of the year allowed everyone to be together for it. And on Fridays at my place. Here's where North became a Tuma.
Oh no.
Oh, I sent a link to the green text to make sure you got the right one. You already did before I knew, so I removed it so you don't have to remember it. Lol. Okay, thank you. Lunch period on a snowy day. Cramped inside because fuck getting cold. Am I right?
I hate the cold. Continue.
In class next to the library. We were approving new character sheets with my closest friends for a continuation of a campaign that takes place 100 years after the spell plague. How magic worked was that it came suddenly as a mutation over time. 3 different types of magic: wizardry, battle magic, mana magic. Our best friend Panda Man, because the dude loves pandas and said if he were ever a furry, he'd be one, rolled up a warrior turned battle mage because of the sudden influx of magic. We were going over to find details when in comes North. Then along comes Mary, Mary, Mary. We made good progress on avoiding the guy as he became more and more toxic, though info as to why he was like getting cloak and dagger. Hold on, I misread it. I'm just trying to put a spin on it, but I can't. Fuck it. Though info as to why was like getting cloak and dagger on getting information. Nothing reliable, nothing to not believe. North. Oh, hey guys, can I play?
Oh.
We kind of have a full part. He slaps his shit on the table and pulls out a binder of shitty drawings, drawn in half anime, half potato style.
Oh, dear God, no.
Points to a shitty drawing of a blue and white wolf with a rainbow tail. I want to be my persona. I visibly cringed. I remember that clearly. His name is North.
You would continue?
Hang on, I'm getting a message. Frown as I look over it and shook my head. I can't. He just does not fit in. Blue fur like that wouldn't be natural, especially that rainbow hair. There's no evolutionary. Gets caught up by a rant of how there's magic in this game and can do whatever the butt fuck he wants.
Oh my God.
It's almost a fucking My Little Pony excuse. It's kind of sad. Not wanting to deal with it, I sighed. I made up some bullshit on how he dyed his fur, but gave it a permanent penalty on any stealth checks because it's fucking bright blue fur and a fucking rainbow.
Gonzo, will you dye your character with rainbow tail?
They're brown. That would be clashing. The only reason why Julie is going with rainbow is because hers is a lighter tandem, a lighter brown than what I'm using.
No, I'm not talking about Julie. I'm talking about you and having it similar to this guy.
No, still, regardless.
Mr. Moonman's going to communicate through the stream chat, by the way.
Okay, keep an eye on it.
All right.
He then goes on to make what noobs do, an ultimate warrior that can do anything in the edgy lone wolf persona, akin to the coupling of a razor blade factory and an angled ruler. Nothing strong since he had points everywhere, so he was bound to fail at everything he'd done. Can't sneak for shit, can't intimidate, can't fight, can't do anything because of dumbassness. I approved of it because I like taking the piss out of the newbies. All took about a half an hour in, and we started off the game. Party of a battle mage panda man, I forgot his name, a roguish fox, who we call Maxon, a wizardly owl, Moonman, a luchador chupacabra, aptly named Libos, and a kobold artificer or whatever, Spike. The names reflect the players as they will be regulars to the story. The party was leaving, but since North was off doing his fucking lone wolf shtick, he was left behind. I followed the party at a distance. Fucking alright, .jpg. First battle is on shortly after. The party sees North in the distance because it's like fucking obvious, and they think he's having them do all the work so North can come in and reap up the XP at the end. I ain't having that shit. While North was watching for what RP drama he was about to do, a rat highwayman had already snuck up on him and was poised to backstab him. No, I'm stealth right now. Roll. Rolls proceed. Got a 10. Normally I would let that pass, but negative 10 is also a modifier against him for blue fucking fur. The rat sees you and is very confused as to why there would be blue on brown gray ground and why was this wolf trying so hard to hide. The party had just finished with their encounter and turned their attention to watch Wonder Dog in action.
Oh boy.
Wonder Dog.
Time for the Wonder Wheel.
Julia's going to be joining us soon. Yay!
I just think of the Wonder Wiener.
I'd rather go with Underdog. Everybody loves Underdog. At least those who've heard of him. Never fear, Underdog is here.
My mother used to watch it.
Ah, man. He was part of fucking Rocky and Bullwinkle, right? I think. I can't remember.
No, it was Underdog was its own separate thing, but it was part of the Hanna-Barbera cartoon line.
Right. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
That's where it's from.
There we go. Okay. That helps. All right. North lasts surprisingly long, managing a saving throw that only took out half his health. What hope there was short-lived, and he ended up dying before he could make a worthwhile scratch on the beginner enemy rat. Suddenly, speccing into dual wielding for every weapon without any proficiency in any weapon was a bad idea. Why did you push the Carlton in our personal servers?
Because the Carlton.
Jesus, kitty. Going on.
Gesundheit.
Party wastes one of the few and very, very valuable res gems I give at the start of a game because of how much they pitied him. End of that campaign as the bell return to class sounded while North was fuming. He would still return, but this is just the beginning. Are you gonna catch up Julie when she comes in here?
Yes, what I can remember.
Or do I have to? Hang on, what's the notification? Oh, achievement complete. New day, new stream. We're hitting achievements!
What does that mean?
I can take a quick look. I'm gonna open in a new tab. Artificer. Thank you, Earthquakey. I was fucking having an issue with that shit. And then Moonman started to sing fucking Wonderwall. Today is going to be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody real. I forgot the lyrics.
About you now.
Thank you.
Alright, yeah. There's a people.
Shit. This might beat out Wolfman Greg for fucking nonsense. Remember that shit?
Wolfman Grey?
We recorded that. It was like a year or so ago.
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head.
He was a furry in the early 2000s. He kept acting like a cringy asshole. He evidently I believe also he ended up digging a hole and shitting in it right in there in front of a group of students.
Why would you dig a hole and shit in front of students?
He was an idiot who was heavily influenced in the early 2000s furry fandom.
Oh God. Just because someone's a furry doesn't mean you go outside and shit on the lawn. Jesus Christ.
It was in front of a couple of students. All right.
Especially students.
Now that we have got the general stuff down, let's get to know North a little better. North is possibly Bobby Hill, as if he was like King of the Hill Seasons 4 as Bobby, except with furries,
Okay,
long black hair, and whatnot. The worst part is, this dude never showered, and it was like he was the embodiment of every negative furry stereotype. Ooh, I bet he's a he's musky husky or whatever. I don't fucking know. We'd give him a real hard time about this, but he just laughs it off and thinks we were joking. He always wears his tail at any given opportunity. That thing was just as gross and smelly looking. A sick, dirty rainbow tail. He'd wear the ears too, but he got into trouble more than enough times as he was seen as a hat. Thank goodness for that. It also helped that one of us found it and misplaced it in a dumpster. Whoops!
Haha.
We've misplaced it. Anyways, let's see about the achievements. What Kitty wanted to know what that meant. New day, new stream. This happened today. Stream for 8 hours in the last 30 days. So we got that going. Yeah, there's a lot of achievements that we can go through, but that's like general shit. But anyway, yeah, that's what I meant. No power to no shower. Make him voice 3 out of 5 anime with the English dub. Lie away.
Oh my God!
I streamed for 21 hours to raise Christmas money. I probably can't. I probably shouldn't. Not of my health. Uh-huh. All right, we're still waiting for Julie.
She's coming. She's gonna get her headset.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it! You also posted Carlton and the General Mayhem.
Why not? What's wrong with the Carlton? Don't you want to dance the Carlton? I want to dance the Carlton.
I'm jealous because it looks like the easiest fucking move I could perform, and I'm fucking white. I can't even do Fortnite dances.
There are instruction videos how to do it.
No, I'm just too white and uncoordinated as shit.
No, you don't have to be like uncoordinated to not learn them. I learned the Fortnite dance. Not that.
It's not a matter of not learning them. It's just that I won't be able to pull them off effectively because I'm that uncoordinated.
I plan this year at BronyCon to dress up as Mercy and Diva and something else. I forget what the other one was. And do Fortnite dances and force my boyfriend to do them with me.
All right. Let's push on.
Okay.
Now, after that first embarrassing defeat, I gave North the opportunity to redo his character sheet before we could start again. The rest of the party agreed to this because we all thought it was really funny seeing him miserably fail. We didn't tell him that to his face, of course. Friday, during study hall on the same day, pretty much how North found out about our games, he did his work on the new character sheet while we were playing our DSs and TCGs. Trading card games,
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Alright. North looks fucking proud at the end of class and hands me a revised character sheet, which was almost the fucking same. Fuck my life, Luigi.
Fuck my life, Luigi. Mario!
The only difference was a huge ass description in the bio about the generic shit of how he was an orphan and lone wolfy bullshit. He had the opportunity of fine-tuning a great character with all my notes and books, as well as a notebook full of the lore I have on the in-game world. Almost all untouched. Now dual wielding spec in swords, a step up, but still not spec for swords and basic. He's still a Mary Sue of warrior who could do anything but can't. And he still has blue fucking fur and no armor specialization. Fuck it, we're going live! Wrote on a notepad attached to my screen to watch him for the Mary Sue shenanigans and appropriately punish him. Now we change the scenes from the school to the card shop. This place is essentially a hive for teens and adults for trading card games as well as gaming. Not only was it a comic shop, there were 2 rooms devoted to tabletop trading card gaming, and another for video gaming with time rented out for $5 an hour. We get to the card shop and set up. We were picking up from the campaign. Party leader Spike, only out of terror, he pulled from the others through his mechanical magicry and attitude towards anything that would slow down his grand plans. He has demanded the reason why North had jeopardized almost everything and wasted a very valuable resource. The memories. Oh, Julie's here.
Hi.
Julie!
Want me to catch you up on the story we're on right now?
I'll go along as we go.
Oh god, it's been great.
Nah,
We're
I'm
dealing
sure.
with a fucking strange furry that's blue and has a rainbow tail named North.
He sounds familiar.
Almost like yours, but yours compliments.
Yeah, I use mine as an accent.
Right. Anyways, we're dealing with him interfering on this campaign based on Thundercats. Magicry, human-animal hybrids, all that stuff.
Snarf, snarf. Oh, this is gonna be bad, Lionel.
All right. We have a party leader who wondered why in a previous game with this fucker had to waste a valuable resource in resurrecting him. Because we're dealing with a furry who just pretty much put his OC in there. Not much stealth, lone wolf, and fucking Mary Sue-ish. Or Scary Stu, whichever. Why did they do this? Why did they do this? The memories. What?
Memories.
I remember that rat. I remember that rat from when he raided my village and killed my parents.
My parents are dead and I became the Batman.
Bitch, that rat was younger than you.
Oh my god.
They had the N word on there, but I don't think Twitch will allow that, so. Deciding I had enough and did not want something so painfully uninteresting to derail the game, I pulled out a character sheet I've been saving for when I wanted to play. It was one thing that it would take the ever-loving piss out of North's character, making things entertaining at the same time. The character was a love project of mine, a demon dragon battle bard. After making the terrible mistake of summoning, the demon fused with him and became a musical demon akin to Tenacious D. Black armor lined, slowly fading red to black trim, just for the edge he touched, and named him Eusebio or something like that. How do you say that? Eusebio.
I have no idea.
Hopefully Earthquakey will fucking remember us or help us out. XY Sexco goes out the edge. Get it, you've got to be paying attention to the stream. I can't be seeing it all the time.
Oh, sorry.
No.
All right. He will not take part in any combat, but he'll really give North a hard time. This is in green text, mind you. So I'm trying to pull this off like it's a story. The ground shakes, and the flames erupt from a few meters of where the party camped. A long guitar riff echoes, and Usabo appears out of the ashes. The party readies up for battle, but before it can get started, it starts singing.
Oh god, I feel like I'm getting Brutal Legend vibes. It's not fucking Meatloaf.
It's more than you deserved. I can't remember how the song went, but it was about how he was joining the party to become known as the greatest musician.
Oh boy.
In midpoint, he went on a chorus about how the rat that killed North was only 10. Loved guitar classes and elective, so this gave me practice. What I remember in the lyrics is sort of like, that rat boy was only 10. The rat boy was only 10. The rat boy was only 10. My friends were laughing their asses off. By the time
That's our new theme song, guys. The rat boy was only 10.
Yeah. This fucking edgelord tried to take on a rat and killed him off because he tried to stealth and he had fucking a -10 amplifier. Well, multiplier, or maybe fucking negative. I don't know. He ended up fucking losing 10 of whatever he rolled because he's not that stealthy. Especially with blue fur and a fucking rainbow tail.
That's like being a Tauren rogue.
But with
Sorry,
the
well joke.
By the time the song ended, North was visibly angry, but did not refute, so the campaign continued. I had an insert now to control his shenanigans in game and a possible healer with the right songs. Things went accordingly to plan. According to Kikaru. Battles happened. What?
It's going to according to plan. I'm going to put this in my collection.
Yeah. Battles happened. Treasure found. The new battle bard sung about how the party was doing. North decided he had enough of being the butt of the joke, so he had the idea of getting himself to lead the party. At least that's what his actions were hinting at. Closing time, though, came to the store, so it had to be held for the Saturday session. Damn, this is lengthy.
Yeah.
Hellhound said rat boy was only 10. And yeah.
Before the party would be split up, we usually arrange a house to meet up at so we could continue the game over the weekend. And who would be in charge of what snacks, as these sessions would sometimes take from 10 in the morning to 3 in the morning, with breaks in between.
Jesus.
That's a big one.
Rat boy was only 10.
D&D sessions do last a while. We ended up learning that hard way with some of the our members getting interested in D&D sessions, and those last quite a while.
Yep.
Not much shows could have happened because they ended up being scheduled on the same dates as we are.
I used to play D&D, and I was purely the comic relief. That's what I made my characters to be. And it was at least 3 hours. And I would make fun of everything, and everybody loved it. And yet everybody was like, "Oh, she's not really she's not really a good character. She's not really a good character." I was a half-elf rogue. Can't remember what level I was at. But by the end of it, I had forgotten that there was the ability to heal. And I've been racking up hit point after hit point after hit point, and just stacking hit points. I didn't put anything else in it. And so it's like, So by the end of the campaign, I had 2 limbs missing, a minotaur horn stuck in my spleen.
Oh.
I didn't take it out. It was just stuck there. Because I thought, if I leave it there, I'm not going to bleed out. If it's stuck there. If I take it out, I'm going to bleed out. You know, that kind of thing. Mentality. Axe and knife wounds, arrows, 3 flesh-eating diseases, and I was still the prettiest. Because I had stacked extremely high on charisma. And so I was like a bumbling rogue who the only way to disarm traps is to fall into the traps.
I'll do it! Don't worry, I lost feeling at that part.
Exactly. And with all of these damages done, I was only halfway to dead at one point. Only halfway. And everybody else was like, I need heals. Why isn't there anybody able to be healed? Oh, wait, our healer's dead. Type of thing. And it's like, it was pretty funny. I think at one point I was one of the only ones alive that wasn't unconscious, coma, 1 point away from permadeath type thing.
Ugh.
And I basically carried the whole thing. And I think at one point one of the bosses was this giant bloodworm, and I got eaten. And I'm like, well, you can't really do anything, you're eaten. I'm like, can I stab it from the inside? So I'm like hacking and chopping my way through it, and I finally escaped from the side of it. I think that was
all right.
It was hilarious.
I could never get behind D&D. I've tried it. I didn't like it. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're different. Let's see.
I legit, I played it and I can't get behind it. And they're like, oh, it's play pretend. I'm like, I used to do that when I was a kid. And I try to imagine things when it comes to, like, you know, stuff. And I've done, you know, acting and things like that. I still couldn't get behind it.
You may need to work on that. All right, let's continue.
Wow, you make it sound like I'm critical death. Thanks. Thanks, I feel the support.
Critical hit. Okay,
love.
let's go. So we're going over the details before long. North makes this move. So this chapter is The Beast's Castle.
Woo.
In the beginning of the preparation stages, when I asked whose house we'd be holding the session at, our member Libos was saying earlier this week on how it would be cool to have it at his place again. His mom makes amazing churros. And how a recent yard sale made a ton of room in their basement so that it will go uninterrupted. North says we can have it at my place. Bear in mind, I noticed last time he was going to make a move for the party leadership role. I was kind of skeptical. Alright then, how about snacks? Just as we were about to arrange who brought chips, soda, etc., and host was in charge of the meals, he says, oh yeah, I'll cover everything. Now, we love it when we don't have to bring everything. Sometimes we'll have a surplus and carry over to the next week, but someone supplying everything is unheard of, and we were not about to refuse it. Oh, by the way, North came from a very wealthy family. Let's let you know that right now.
Oh, ASMR says hello. He joined.
Hi.
Hey.
All right, keep reading. I'm going to pee, and you can keep reading.
Okay, have fun.
We were now about to refuse it. All right, but we'll need your address.
Party!
All right, but we'll need your address. He wrote it down in sloppy as fuck handwriting. Yep, I have that too. Eyes widened to the fact that this was on the well-off side of town. Gatedcommunities.fmv. So that night I had spent in preparation fully on what will be happening next. No need to go out and get any food. I had a good time coming up with fine-tuning certain parts of the campaign. The next day arrives and everyone is at North's motherfucking mansion at noon. The place was huge by small town's nature, mostly most places being ranches and whatnot. These guys opted for a big ass house. I
Right.
met North's parents. His dad's a pretty chill dude. He was an investment banker and was really good at it. And Mom was a stay-at-home mother. Pretty cool. We asked where North was holding the session. Dad told us it was in his room and how he was happy that North even had friends.
That explains a lot.
Needless to say, this was going to be our first and last session here. As mentioned before, North smelled like he never took a shower.
Oh my
But
god.
his room smelled fucking awful. It was a big room, but awful. Reeked of belly seed, BO, nearly vomiting in my mouth. Furry art on the walls. Naked furry art. What looked like a body pillow was in the corner of the room. My friends and I cringed at it, but we took a deep, gagging breath, opened the window despite being cold outside, and got to work. Libos
Everybody cleaned it.
asked, hey, where'd you set up the snack table? What snack table? You said you'd be in charge of snacks, dude. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, I forgot. Someone's gone nose blind
Lebo,
and brain blind.
Lebos and another member, Maxon, were pretty much shaken at this, but Spike, our leader, pulled them aside and told them how they might be better off since it was the smell of the room. They both agreed to that sentiment, as I was told after the early ended session. I still wasn't too happy about this. We tried to play through the awful smell for about 2.5 hours before I called the session to an end, making up excuses for all of us to leave. We usually stayed the night during the sessions, but this was our exception. As we left, Dad gave us a knowing nod and a sign before he did whatever he was doing. He's a really good guy. I kept in touch with him. He gave me a great letter of recommendation. As we were leaving, still daylight out, we all made an agreement next week. We start holding early votes on who hosted and who brought what.
Sounds like a good idea.
What I miss.
His room
Lots
was
of cringe.
his room was fucking stinky, and it was lined with naked furry art, and he had a body pillow.
Of who?
Didn't say.
We don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was crusty, at least on the inside.
Wonderful.
And they are never going to that house ever again.
And the father understood.
Yeah, the father was cool.
The father was like, "Yep,
Fast forwarding a few weeks in time, North managed to get himself killed again. Near death a second time. Tries wooing anyone he meets now, but thanks to abysmal charisma and no opportunities to ever level because he's very unbalanced in a bad way, gets chased out of towns by lynch mobs or beaten up in worst case scenarios.
For a minute, I thought you meant like in real life too. I'm like, wow, really? What?
Oh, this is D&D.
Yeah.
This also marks the time of Kel entering the fray. Kel was curious as to what we were doing for some time, but never bothered to join in until I invited him. It was a bit harder since he could not join in on the study hall sessions. The problem solved soon after I handed him the lore book and dove right into it. He rolled up a bull paladin to the god of warriors' justice, who go off for several hours a day in meditation and prayed to his god. He was also nudged into the party on recognition of Panda Man, another one of our members, as being an old partner when they were mercenaries. This also meant the party had someone who could res, allowing North to get more careless in his actions and end up in more hilarious deaths. So we're going to call this chapter Kale the Conqueror.
Oh boy.
Kale's first session, and since he did his homework, he had my approval for his character, as well as a bonus bag of silver for his good work and starting equipment. He soon had a set of bright, shiny plate mail as a big-ass cow should, but one thing caught my eye on his weapons of choice. No sword, no shield, no mace, no hammer, but he chose steel cistuses. I have no idea what that is.
Shame.
When I asked him about it, he just told me so everyone could feel the fist of justice. So I guess these are metal boxing gloves or something. Can somebody check in the chat, see if I'm right or something?
Yeah, I think they're like a gauntlet of sort.
Lebos and Kel's characters got off a lot more chummy than Panda Man, surprisingly. We have a Panda Man because he's also a furry and he likes pandas. But it's not that bad.
Mm.
But more off, Kel really hated North's character. Kel being a surprisingly amazing role player, he explained his character since the great evil in North, only constantly reminded of it by Eusebio's verses about North's current deeds. The Eusebio's, he's Tenacious D in a sense. Kel saw the selfishness and especially the vanity that his god hated so much. So, working with leader Spike behind the scenes as well as Lebos, they worked to plan together on how to make North the punching bag of the party. North was doing his lone wolf shit in town, was not aware of this. I kept players separate and speak in lower voices. If they are apart, it helps with the metagaming. And have been swindled a good share of his cash by a merchant I frequently have met up with a party in the wilds. He wasted all his cash on an ancient sword that not only could he not properly wield like all weapons, but broke as he sheathed it. So the party heads to town before the first real dungeon. Selling his starter weapons for coin he was swindled out of, North went for a weapon shop that I had intentionally stocked for higher rank stuff, like what they were about to face. North, however, was not intending on paying for anything. Soon his lone wolfiness caught up to him, and he had a mob of mercenaries hired by the shop owner on him due to a terrible stealth roll. Rolling a 1, he also had the negative 10 stealth modifier on him. Not only did the shopkeeper see him take a sword and shove it in his pants, the pants were cut in half, and he had tripped, knocking over half the stock and damaged almost all the weapons in the process.
You okay over there?
She's laughing hard. Running towards the party with a mob behind him, he started shouting for help. Kel took this as a quest for warrior's justice and did a straight uppercut on a fucking blue-furred wolf and sent him high in the air. Kel then growled Libos by the forearm and launched the luchador, well, if Libos is a luchador, into the air for a flying El Chupacabra signature kick. With such power, Libos' legs were almost broken. North, however, was sent far over the crowd and over a makeshift wall of the village, already dead. This, however, showed what Spike and Kel's plan was, and North was pissed. They unceremoniously dragged North's body far from the town after getting their needed supplies. Spike then placed a stone on North's body and he was revived. Kel had explained to me, through his pleading with the god of warrior justice, he argued that being able to imbue his magic into stone would not only be useful for him, but would also aid him should he fall before his justice was done. Served as a way he could revive someone clearly not in his god's favor and not fall out of his god's favor. I commended him on that. After hearing the news of the ability to be revived by proxy, Spike made a series of intricate stones that could be easily enchanted thanks to being an artificer. But the tag team attacked by Kel and Libos was the real gem of the situation. They managed to tell the town that they had been hunting down this evil blue wolf. Libos piped in a Mexican soap opera-esque story on how North had killed his mother and raped his father, so he took up the mask to seek justice in the name of Lucha.
Okay. Wow.
Damn.
This This brings me back to a lot of D&D tales. That's why I'm laughing as hard. It's like I understand the whole thing of rolling a 1, and my DM used to play it up hugely as something super embarrassing.
I loved it all and called a session there for the day, but North was really fuming at this point. Now, at the end of the month, we like to take breaks to keep things fresh. The last week of the month has always been our Bro Down Day. The subject came up on how we could take our group to a better environment. Sure, the notebooks and the miniatures were fun, but how awesome would it be to have more of an interaction through a virtual environment? That's when North had the idea in the chapter, Screw Clever Titles, How We Griefed a Star Fox Sim.
Right.
Oh boy, this is Second Life, your hometown.
Yeah.
Spike had just
Yeah.
got done explaining how awesome it'll be if there were a D&D-like MMO that would match people up for custom-built campaigns before North cut in. Second Life. Bitch, what?
Oh dear.
We could use Second Life. I'm pretty pop-you-fur on there.
Oh, why?
No.
No. Don't. You don't actually say the language.
Truth be told, though, I did consider using Second Life in the past to hold proxy games, but to buy, let alone rent a sim? No freaking way that would work on a high school budget.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, fucking Julie has a fucking job at Target, but fucking she has to rely on fucking donations to keep shit running, right?
Right now, the quarter of a sim that I have is being delightfully donated to me by a very good friend who wanted to keep one of my projects running. And I'm very thankful for that. And right now, that is, let's see, 4,000 linden a week, which roughly translates anywhere between $8 to $14, depending on the conversion. And that's a week, and I get paid not. It's not that big with all the bills taken out and whatnot. So it's a great help to me because I was able to keep things running. So those things are freaking expensive. For like a whole entire sim, that can be like easily more than $1,000 a month.
Ugh. Fucking hell.
Yeah. And that's not even like the mainland Second Life. This is just like little rinky-dink little sims that are like islands with nothing surrounding you except for ocean.
Right. Okay. Meanwhile, while I try to do some reading, I'm going to try to get some things fixed up because another section of the story requires a YouTube link. I need to figure out what the fuck that link is, so...
Oh no.
Yeah. When we finish this one part, during our next part, we're going to have to figure this shit out.
Well, I might opt out soon because I need to do some things.
This is very long, I know. Now, let's see. After everyone looked at me, while North began digging through his bag for God knows what, I shook my head slowly and gave that I get it look. Soon North had his handy-dandy shitty drawing book out and thumbed to an obvious traced Fox McCloud picture telling us that's what he looked like and we should join him where he plays Star Fox. I agreed on everyone's behalf. To their shock, after study hall was over, we made sure we tell Kel about what happened. I told him we'll be taking all the piss out on North for this. Oh God. Oh.
Gesundheit.
Damn, this is lengthy. After class and back home, I did my homework on Second Life and how easily it would have been to grief. This was time before SL had a fancy no push function or even the force time option. We all downloaded Second Life and messaged each other our usernames, searching up North's name and added him. He soon teleports us, and good God, this was a cringy sight. I guess this was time before the great-looking avatars, and everything was a jumble of prims, no scopes, nor meshes. North in an early blue fox Luskwood avatar proceeded to flaunt his superiority over us noobs.
Oh, I remember that.
But he did not know that I had formed a group with my starting 250 lindens, and we were planning on how to ruin everything for North. We did get proper welcome by some furries in the sim, and even started avatars and kits. We told them how we were just placating North for now, and that we were planning on raiding on his parade. And this a message from one of them said, "I'm in," and the other two joined. Turns out North was really a douche to everyone there, and he was not banned because he was not technically breaking the rules. Don't you just hate that shit?
Just enough to stay.
It also helped that North had a pocket mod he was using as a fuck toy. Not interested in type fucking or anything, and my friends were already groaning at the sexual antics that seemed to be happening with North a few paces away. Our plan began. We were going to lag bomb the sim.
Oh my god, no.
Now, back in those days, for the rest of us, Second Life was super easy to grief. Most of the freebie places had the perfect stuff for cagers to orbiters, anything you need. The prize we were after was a script that would drive up the sim's lag to ridiculous levels, and one of our conspirators had the script we needed.
Ooh.
Now, how this had to be done was the guy had to go to a sandbox and add the item to a box without notice, because the script was meant to detonate on drop. One guy using the script would make super uncomfortable lag happening. Maxon surprisingly came up with a plan. Using her charms, Maxon had procured a sum of linden to get a better looking avatar. Horny furries are easily manipulated. Soon she had officer status, and the group for the sim invited us as members with build rights. We soon got in position. One in the center of the sim and everyone else in the corner. Oops, I kind of X'd out.
Oops.
At noon, things were about to get crunchy. We'd arranged it so that North would be right next to Maxon in the center of the sim in plain sight of everyone. North was doing as usual and keeping uncomfortably close to Maxon. At the time, and all the stars aligned, Maxon dropped a wooden block containing a script and made it look like the res line came from North's hand.
Oh, God.
Now for the next part, which I'm going to have to do some typing. Hold on.
All right, someone says lag bomb, bless you, motherfucker. Stealth runs charisma, under charisma, is a 3E boomer who has never played the video games. All right, whatever that means.
All right. And the song.
Okay.
There we go. It's after this entire event, Spike linked the song to the Cowboy Bebop original soundtrack, Greenbird. He saw it was perfectly fitting. Everything slowed to a crawl, avatars being pushed back to a nuke level only to be knocked back in all directions and soon upwards in the singularity. We had no idea this would happen, and remember, with that music, it only made it more fitting. I wish I could play it, but I type out it'll probably be muted.
What you say?
Yeah, no. It was from the Cowboy Bebop OST, but yeah. We can sing-song it.
Yeah.
The sim crashed, and the sim crashed hard. We had to restart our clients, and we were on Welcome Island, a success. The group exploded with chat about who griefed, and then anyone had any information to come forward to it. Maxon took advantage of the chaos, and they were influenced by messaging the admin saying she saw North do it. Immediately, he messages me saying he was banned. I, like everyone else, including our co-conspirators, tell him the group had been taken over and was banning everyone. All bases were covered, and we were laughing so much about it. We all left Second Life. I
Wow.
eventually came back on a new account. Maxon is still on there to this day, though I don't remember the username. Now the campaign can continue on. I think 1, 2, 3 more parts.
Oh my gosh.
Now some of you guys may remember a guy named Munin. He played a wizardly owl. He did not have much of an opportunity to do anything aside of participating in a fight because North's antics usually force a party to leave town too early. Munin's family was also getting ready to move across country. His dad got a better job. A tearful goodbye to a good friend of mine, Munin's last stand. It was the final week before Munin had to go, about the week after the lag bomb. Munin had prepared his character so that the owl would be residing in the City of Knowledge after the dungeon the party had prepared for a while. North got his ass handed to him by Paladin Lucha Libre tag team action. Munin's bones were just getting old, and his adventuring days were coming to an end. He would retire and spend the rest of his years learning ancient history and their meaning for existence. North, however, was not happy that someone was the center of attention and not him.
Aw, pumpkin.
As they were going through the cave entrance to the underground ruins of the city, North was a bit further behind than usual. I mentioned that the ruins had a disturbing sense of order, with tall, squarish buildings, grid work on roadways, odd signs hanging over them, flickering snowy noise boxes occasionally turning on as they passed by them. Before they knew what was going on, the party was surrounded by metal guardians. Robots. Spike, being a kobold artificer, had a knack for mechanics and ingenuity. He had already devised a plan that would get them through the situation safely. The Guardians would halt aggression if they saw a strange thin tablet that almost every artificer bought from excavators for this reason. North, who had not read a single word of the lore, decided he'd charge in and attack, and in his words, save everyone. But by saving everyone, North threw a borrowed sword at one of the machines and actually destroyed it by hitting a natural 20. Hagrid should not have done that. .avi.
Oh, God.
Should not have done
The
that.
Guardians erupted into action, charging the Sentinel Lights and their punishing rays, the laser guns. Kel picked up and threw North over the heads of the monsters, where Libos leapt and body surfed the goddamn blue-furred wolf along the side of a building. Another death for North.
Oh, God. Is that the end of North?
Probably not.
We still let's see what happens. Maxon had just simply leaped and planted a glue bomb on one of the robots as she passed over the heads of the Guardians, clearing an explosive path for Usabo, Pandaman, and Moonin. I had Usabo play a quick haste song, which I sang to the tune of Pac-Man.
Nah.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. Run, run, run as fast as you can. Run, run, run as fast as you can away from the big metal man.
Oh, my God.
Soon the party had reached the end of the dungeon, running past the boss and into the treasure room full of artifacts that were hastily collected. The only way out of it was a hole in the ceiling to a cave network above, which led to one of the mines used by the City of Knowledge for their excavation. Getting North's corpse up to the hole wasn't hard, but Kel was failing his climb rolls. It was then that Munin stopped his plans for retirement altogether and moved to the entrance of the room. He erected a magical barrier that drew his life force. He told all the party to leave without him, to be safe on their journey and to not forget their goal. Pandaman took one last look at Munin, and Munin back with a tear in his big owl eyes before being vaporized. As I
Ouch.
mentioned, I keep my party members separated if they're apart. Death being part of the separation, I did just that with North. While I had Usabo writing a power ballad on the sacrifice of Moonin, Spike had dropped a particularly heavy redstone on top of North's corpse. North, back in the game, did his usual edgy lone wolf shtick. Said, "Ha, guess the old geezer didn't have what it takes to survive."
Wow, disrespectful much?
Says the guy who dies all the fucking time. Dot wave. Because
It
North did
doesn't
not
pay to be a cringe lord kid, says Mr. Moonman.
because North did not hear how Munin truly died, the party looked at him in shock and disgust. I added a verse to both lines that it was to blame on a clown wolf's attacks, which flew right over his head. Oh well. After the game, we all said our final goodbyes to Munin, though we made sure not to tell North was not joining us. I gave him my Lucky Dyson bag and a painstaking rewritten copy of all of his characters' journeys. That was the last of Munin. His real name was Brandon, and he was the best player a dungeon master could ask for. Aww.
Aww.
Can we get an F in the chat for Munin?
Yeah, yes. F for respect.
F for respect.
Yeah.
F for respect.
Yeah.
Aw.
Now, the final part of North's involvement with our campaign, and after this, the follow-up of what happened to him afterwards, and why I am not all too willing to give out too much of personal information. Until then, the fall of the clown.
Oh, finally.
It was Friday, and we had planned to meet up in Labo's basement for the continuation of our lunch session. However, we took note that North had not arrived at the time he usually does, a half hour late actually. We had to wait on him since he was in the party and he was in school, but we were about to start when North says, "Hey guys, sorry I took so long." "Dude," says Kel, "we've been waiting forever, what took you?" North had a smug look on his face. "Oh, I was in the office. I'm dropping out. First nail in the coffin." "You what?" "Yeah, I decided I wanted to focus more on being a furry."
Oh my god.
What?
That is
Wha-
not what you stopped schooling for.
We were
This
all-
this should not be the aspiration of any human being.
We were all shell-shocked at this point. Panda Man was pretty much a furry now, but this was something that would make him question it entirely. Kel
Make
broke the
anybody-
silence by laughing. Good one, dude. Seriously, what took you? At this point, we were pretty much a major dungeon. I paced it like a movie. After the funeral ceremony and the commissioning of a statue to be added to the Hall of Legends of Munin, something the party remembers, threw all their coin into for as well as exchange what artifacts they found except for one. The game picked back up at the card shop. Everyone was about 4 levels higher than when they started. I am a benevolent god. Except North. He had died in every fight, every scenario, took experience penalties for acting out of his ailment, neutral good, and more. His body was not ready, Reggie.
You are not prepared.
He was hiding in the back of the group the entire time, waiting, not getting into fights. I chalked it up to the lone wolf thing again, but when he did not participate in the boss fight, I got suspicious. At the final blow was about to be struck on the boss, he made his move by jumping on its back and stabbing it. It was only a minor wound since he barely had anything, into stealth. Killed is something akin to a falcon punch, except channeling all the energy of his holy god into his fist, the fist of justice, and obliterated the boss. North, though, thought he scored the final blow and was already taking what he wanted with the loot, which was everything. Maxon, though, playing fully into the role, was already raging at this. You don't take rogue's gold. North began his tirade on how he was the one who struck the final hit, about how it was his kill even though he did nothing the entire fight. North continued on how he was the party leader. Spike was additionally pissed about it. And that they all had to do what he said, despite him never participating to the planning of the raid. It was at this point, Lebos acted very out of character. During this speech, Lebo snuck up behind North and drew out a bag, only to drop it over North's head. Panda Man, picking up on what was going on, prepared a snare spell to keep his feet stuck. Maxim snuck at North's pressure points for a prolonged, painful stun. This all led to Kill going for a gut punch that knocked North out, not killing him. It was at that point Spike drew out a net and fished it up, tying North up. To finish it all, Panda Man looked out a sphere of planar travel that Munin had given him just in case, and opened the door to the plane of torment. Actually, one of the human-made pocket dimension experiments that caught fire. Believed to be full of nothing though but evil and demons. Tying North to a stake and pulling the back free, Spike took up the leader role again, saying much of North in character as out. Listen, we're tired of you. Ever since you came to our party, you've been nothing but trouble. We're leaving you where you belong, not for our sake, but for the memory of Munin. Enjoy what you've earned. Soon Panda Man closed the portal to a screaming, soon burning alive, blue-furred wolf with a rainbow tail. At this point, North snapped.
No.
North grabbed the edges of the table and flipped it, screaming at everyone. It was nonsense, gibberish, and everything before he burst into tears. The shop owner had to come over to see what was going on. We tried to explain the situation. North decides to take out revenge for allowing this to happen, ran up and threw a punch. Since he was fat and telegraphing so much, it took no trouble just to sidestep out of his way. He hit a store owner square in the mouth.
Banned, bitch.
Banned.
Yep. He was banned from the store at that. He then dropped out of school and got banned from one of the only places to hang out in the same day. Soon after, it was all over the school. Now for the epilogue, bitches.
Oh boy.
Aww. I like the story time.
The news of North's dropping out shocked his parents more than us. He apparently forged their signatures to do so, but decided not to go against it. North's mom did have another kid sometime later, a daughter at that. Hopefully it'll be better. A few years later, he showed up on Steam with a friend request. His profile was decorated in that furry tribe from Unicodes, to MLP references that made me gag. For that reason, why I can't refer much to him. After that incident, he became pretty much a stalker. Followed us home and everything. Got to the point we had to get a restraining order on him, much to the added embarrassment to his family. I apologized so much to his dad for having to do this, but he was cool about it. He even kept in contact with me and gave me a glowing recommendation for college. But North's shenanigans did not end there. From what I read in the newspaper about him, he became a serial dog rapist.
Oh.
Hero, is that you?
That term always be gluing to my head. His family promptly disowned him after that event. As to how he managed to send me a Steam friend invite, I'm not sure. His extended family probably took pity on him and let him stay with him. As for now, I don't know what happened to North. Munin have fallen completely off the grid with us. I hope that wherever he is, he's doing great. Maxim, I know, continues to play Second Life. After high school, though, we lost touch. I hope to find her again sometime just to catch up. Spike and I are still great buddies. We get to hang out on SL since we're so far apart. Figured out how the game works now, and we share a bit of land with one of the furries that we met during the lag bomb. Kel even joined up with us on SL, still rocking a bull paladin look. And that concludes our story of North the Furry.
Bravo.
Oh my god.
I always love these Odyssey green texts to where it's just like they put so much effort in like just to
The
give a general
storytelling.
sense of we are going like the storyteller. He's going to take you on an adventure. That's how it's like projected in the form of green text. That's how I like.
Mhm.
So that's like high quality shit right there. 10 out of 10 green text story. Thanks for reading it, Gonzo.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Yeah, and I think I might as well call it because that took a lot out of me.